Urban Revolution Radio's Your Morning Show with your boy Nino and your man D Hicks. Broadcasting live from the Evans Motor Studios, 1056 East Riverside Drive, home of the buy here, pay here option. All of those great deals to be had for the fall. And if you use promo code NINO, Nino, you'll get that $100 Visa gift card upon purchase completion. Also by Spudz-N-Stuff. They got Spudz-Palooza coming up this weekend. You go over there to Spudz-N-Stuff. You use promo code NINO, you get a 10% discount if you're a non-first responder. But if you are a first responder, you get that automatic 10% discount if you show your first responder ID, because they are first responder friendly. And we are the home of the independent artist and entrepreneur. We want to welcome our newest entrepreneur of the month, Jason Dicken, the owner of Spudz-N-Stuff. And if you would like to be our next independent artist or entrepreneur of the month, all you have to do is hit us up with a clean MP3 version of your music and a brief description of your business. And if it's on point, we'll show it as much love as humanly possible, just like we did Big Coop.
Cool.
Our artist of the month this month going to be performing out there live at Spudz-Palooza. So we got the artist of the month performing with our entrepreneur of the month. That's how we do. We connected, you know what I mean? Let the revolution begin, you know what I mean? So got a great show today, man. We was talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Man, I knew it was set up from the beginning, homie.
Man, you've been keeping up with it and watching the craziness going.
I've been tuning to court TV.
And see, you know, I call myself trying to be a logical person.
Right.
You know what I mean? One of my favorite characters on TV all the time was Mr. Spock on Star Trek, the walking computer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then on the Next Generation, it's like Data, the walking. I've always prided myself on being a logical, reasonable, being able to weigh both sides and make an informed, opinion, balanced opinion.
Right.
I'm never nowhere near 100% correct on anything, but I just try to be as informed. You know what I mean? But man, am I the only one getting the impression that this thing is like rigged from the jump? It's like kind of.
I tell you, no, because the judge is biased as hell.
Dude, because I felt that in the beginning when he first started saying that you couldn't call the victims.
And then he had the Asian food joke.
And then he playing Jeopardy with them with the jury deliberations, like trying to size the intelligence and all this kind of other stuff.
Weapons charge.
This is the latest. Well, as I say,
like I said, it's only a misdemeanor.
And I can understand it on that. I say I try to be balanced on both sides of the equation.
Right.
That dropping the weapons charge thing, I kind of understand why they did that, because it's the lowest of the low. You want to chop off as much, give the jury as least amount to
deliberate on.
Give them as much of the good stuff that they got multiple charges. They got everything from first degree, I think they got second degree and an attempt, something like that. So they hanging their hats on one of these murder charges, but just in case things go a little wild, they still got that misdemeanor
charge that it can bring up, but
because
there's not any justice though.
But I think, to me, I don't know if I say I'm not a lawyer by any kind of way, shape, form, and fashion. I mean, I took business law in college, a couple semesters, but I'm nowhere kind of an attorney. This is just my own, shaved ape opinion right now, But I really think it's kind of like if you go to rob a bank, but someone has a heart attack while in that. You can be charged with like manslaughter, murder, something like that, because it happened in the commission of a crime. If somebody you was with was in your posse, they gun went off and shot somebody, you can't say I didn't mean to do. No, that's still a murder in the commission of a crime, because if you hadn't started that initial crime,
it never would have happened.
And this is why I'm thinking why that gun charge is more of a linchpin that a lot of people are really giving credit for, because if his buddy, they said his buddy bought the gun,
right?
His mama transported him. If neither one of those acts had happened, both illegal, one, you buying a minor
a gun,
giving it to him, he's not supposed to have it. Right. Then two, you transport them across state lines with said weapon.
Neither one of those been held accountable in no way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right. So I mean, if neither one of those actions had ever happened, none of the rest of that stuff would have went down. And that's why I'm kind of, I think they got they got big room for appeal, when it comes down to just already.
It depends on which way that it goes.
I'm really seeing that he's.
But if he found not guilty.
And see, I had the same pessimistic attitude when they was.
Don't start nothing.
It's already started. You know what I mean? So
The fire's
you know what I mean?
brewing in it, man.
They got pictures of this dude taking. You know, he's still a minor now, mind you. He's in a bar, like I guess a restaurant style bar that
Right.
sells alcohol. You know what I mean? The minors cannot be allowed in because they sell food, but he's got a beer on the table. It looks like it's sitting right in front of him. His mama got a beer over here. They taking pictures and posing. He's got a shirt saying "Scot Free" on this thing, or "I'm free," you know, something like that, just
Right.
mockingly being sarcastic about the whole thing, like being totally insensitive about the whole thing. But then you want to get on the stage on the track. Man, did you see them crocodile tears that this dude was crying on
Didn't
this
even say nothing,
show?
homie.
Man, I've seen my kids put up better acts because they got to do the dishes and didn't want to go to school, cry with better acts of crying than that. Because I mean, it's like, to me, you know, when you cry emotionally, usually the tears come from in here. You know what I mean? They well up inside the little bottom of the eye, and usually the easiest way for those tears to get out is from the inside. Now, stress is just a whole different kind. Like when you yawn, or something like that, or when you're trying to make yourself blink, and you get those usually come out these corners of the eyes for some reason. You know what I mean? Man, that dude, he had one little. It looked like somebody took a teardropper and dropped it on his face. And just having to land on it and catch it right there in the corner right there. That was just the whole. It's been such a farce to me. But like I say, I had the same pessimistic account about, you know, when the cop knelt on my man's neck. You know what I mean? And I thought that cop was gonna get off as well, but he ended up getting convicted. You know what I mean? So I say I'm nowhere near a lawyer. I'm just telling you what my shaved ape opinion is. You know, but I'm just saying the jury deliberations have begun already. They got 12 that's supposed to be the main, and I think six alternates and the backups, and the instructions have been. I think the instructions have been given. Let's see what we got. According to CNN.com, it said the Kenosha Police Department said there's currently no reason to facilitate road closures or to enact curfews or to ask communities to modify their daily routines ahead of the verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse homicide trial. So that just lets you know it's in there already. People's like, man, is jury expect violence? Is it gonna be some?
Man, let me tell you something. That boy not found guilty.
But you also got to think the population of what Kenosha is as well, though. You know, a lot of those people that was going up there doing the protesting were from, especially the ones that are of color, they're from other areas. That's a very, very Caucasian heavy area up there. You know, so I don't know who they're expecting. You know, unless they say he found guilty, and then like Proud Boys or something like that, one of those other
entities,
you know,
to come inside, do some
entities that paid for his bail and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? He got
a pillow guy.
You know. So maybe they're expecting violence from that side of the.
You never know.
The tracks.
Right, they gotta look at both ends, though.
You know, so we'll see how I go there. Said, this is once again, this is according to CNN.com. It said the police in the statements said in a statement that they have worked with the sheriff's department to improve their response to large-scale events over the past year and have strengthened their relationship with state and federal resources. Said the Kenosha Police and Kenosha County Sheriff's Departments understand and recognize the anxiety surrounding the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and said jury deliberations began yesterday, and a day after the prosecuting, the defense offered dueling assessments of his actions last year in the unrest in Kenosha. I'm telling you, it's people on both sides with strong feelings both ways. Just I thought it's on. Oh no, I was thinking of the Arbery trial. No, this the one.
There's only one brother on the Arbery thing.
I don't think they've ever. I don't think. What do they say? They got in the. Do they ever provide a makeup? It say the 12 jurors selected to deliberate the case and reach a verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial have been instructed to the law, but no one tells them what to do once they get in the room. So let's see if we get a picture of these.
You're not gonna show a jury. It's about the makeup, though.
No, are they saying
like telling me how many women.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The final 12-person jury is made up of 5 men and 7 women. but they don't say
They
the
don't done a
race.
breakdown on the race.
Yeah, they don't say which
I
race
tell
it
you, man,
is.
it's like with women, this or well, women can go either way because they can say, "Well, that was my child. Different, my child got shot."
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
only thing they need, is a one time is one person to go negative. That was the lawyer speaking, the
Yeah.
the prosecutor speaking when
Mhm.
I hit that button by accident. But yeah, all it takes is one to say, well, I don't think he's guilty, to get a hung jury. You know what I mean? To
Right.
get off. So, but I really do think, let's say on the logical side, the prosecution, they really didn't have to do that much to prove he was in the wrong. You are in the middle of the street, a 17-year-old boy with an AR-15. Anything that goes wrong after that is your fault because you're not supposed to have that weapon. One, you cross state lines with it too. You're not even from Wisconsin. So how are you traveling across state lines to come protect somebody else's stuff like that?
Right.
You're not part of the well-organized militia. You're not been duly deputized, but it looked like he had been deputized by the sheriff the way he walked
The
right
way he
past them.
walked, yeah, with the AR-15.
Dude walked right past him like he was like right one of them. Can you imagine if that was one of us?
Us.
Because he shot 3 white people. You
Yeah,
know what I
you
mean?
feel me? Yeah, they go down and
They
shoot
having a
white folks.
hard time dealing
Right,
with
they're
this one.
dealing with this
So
because it's never a problem to it.
And plus, the
America.
one guy that he shot to survive, he actually had a weapon too,
Right,
but
right. He
he
got
had the
shot
right
armed.
to carry his
Right,
weapon.
he had
He
a
had
right.
a
He had
permit
a
and
permit and
everything. So
everything.
he was defending himself
Himself.
against somebody coming down with an AR-15.
Right.
So it can go either way
Yeah.
on this case. For real, for real. I don't have any. As I say, I'm more pessimistic, like I was with the other trial. That's just me and
Right.
my skepticism of the American jurisprudence
Yeah.
system. I really do believe that there are two different trial settings, two different courts
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes
There's a
down
black
in
court and a white
America.
court.
And it comes
Call it
maybe.
like it is.
So we'll see what it is. It's a group of the 18 jurors was in court for the entirety of the trial, but 6 were dismissed by a random drawing on Tuesday morning. The final 12-person jury panel is made up of 5 men, 7 women, and say Kyle Rittenhouse faces felony charges, and if convicted, the most serious charge, he could face a mandatory sentence of a life in prison. They say the trial featured more than a dozen videos from that night that show what happened and during the footage. When he was on the ground, when he was walking right past the police officer, like I say, but all of this stuff, I think that dismissing the gun charge is a double-edged sword. I see why they're planning to try to hold something in the background, but so much of that other case is a linchpin for him just having that gun in the first place. None of that stuff would have happened, if it went down the other way. So let us know what you think about it. Which way do you think the Kyle Rittenhouse trial is going to go? Let us know, 812-303-5018, or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/live999WJCB. Also, you can comment on our YouTube channel if you're watching this on the podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that hit that notification bell on YouTube so you'll be aware of every episode of the Urban Revolution Radio's Your Morning Show. It's your boy Nino and your man D Hicks, broadcasting live from the Evans Motor Studios, sponsored by Loudberries Clothing at loudberries.com.